It is Tuesday evening, and it's about just a little after 5 o'clock. Diving in here to continue our 30 days, an hour a day of cold calling. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is viewable by everybody. All right, there we go. All right, so we're live, checking in. We're going to continue forward. Still continuing with the technical difficulties. Our SMS is still down, and actually we were told this morning that everything's been fixed. Needless to say, our phone numbers, our outbound calls are no longer working as well. So today we're just going to have to kind of bob and weave here. I'm going to use the Skype dialer that I have. It's just it's just using Skype with a paid service. So we're gonna have to cut and paste manually. It's gonna be a little slower, and we're gonna try our Linkabee system here, which is a basically proprietary CRM. This has leads dating back to early on in my career, and basically had these CRMs created and modified over time, and we obviously kept contact information from homeowners that we've spoken to for all that time. So believe it or not, there are older records, sometimes as old as 10 years. And actually we purchased properties from homeowners that were 5+ years down the line. So at any rate, we'll go ahead and dive right in here. And just one thing, I usually have my assistants go through, verify that the person we spoke to still owns the property. I anticipate that I'll probably call some people that have long since sold the property, but that's what we have to deal with today. So let's go ahead. Again, this is follow-ups. We've basically spoken to these homeowners at some point, whether it was through response from one of our direct mail channels or something else. We have their information and pretty much stored that, and we're just following up with them. So here's my team saying issues with REI. Say please use Skype. All right, so we're going to continue along here. Let's go ahead, see who we can call. All righty. So the system that we're using, again, this is a totally different dashboard. So what I'm looking at right now is all leads in the system with various statuses, etc. So you know what? Let's just have at it again. A bunch of these could possibly be sold, but let's go ahead and give this a go.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording.
Okay, so I don't mind leaving voicemails today. I just got to see what number this is calling from. So let's go ahead and make sure we have that number. We know. And again, we do this to also verify that our numbers are coming through and not getting labeled as spam. So let's go ahead and see what this number is. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we got that. And it looks like this supports text messaging as well. So what I do is sometimes we would go ahead and, as I mentioned before, leave them a voicemail and also follow up with a text message. So we'll try to keep this quick. Maybe we'll leave a couple voicemails and then we'll try to rifle through these as fast as we can. So just scrolling through a lot of dead leads, a lot of various statuses here. All right.
The person you are calling cannot accept calls at this time. We're sorry for any inconvenience this may cause.
Okay. We also make it good practice that we update the system. For example, attempted call, left a voicemail, didn't leave a voicemail. That way, if we see, hey, we've been trying to reach out to these people, for the past however long, and we're clearly not making headway, then we can make, a decision. Do we want to continue to try to reach out to them, maybe use a different method, or do we want to go ahead and just mark that as dead? Or do we want to, send direct mail or whatever it may be? So. All right. Again, I usually verify if they're still the owners. It's quite possible these may have been sold. We'll find out.
To an automatic voice message system. 60988.
All right. A lot of these might be spread out. I usually like to try to focus on a certain area, but we'll take what we can get. Okay, actually this property sold. So again, I always bring up or try to bring up a Zillow record. That way you could see, hey, did it sell? Is there any updated information there? Unfortunately, in this scenario, this property sold. So that's a dead lead for us. And mark that as such so we don't go ahead and call them again and continue onward. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, we're going to close out of that one. Let's see if we could extract a couple other leads. There we go. All right. So I'm just reading. We have a whole slew of notes. Actually, let me see if I could share this. I'll show you guys the dashboard. All right. So if this is in frame, so here here's what I'm looking at. Here's all our property information. Then you scroll down, you have all the statuses. If you guys used Podio before, you're familiar, it's similar. So you could see all that there. So that's what I'm currently looking at. Trying to, get a quick glimpse of what the latest was. And that way, when I'm talking to them, the more information I have, the better, right? All right, so Let's go ahead, scroll through a couple of these. Okay. There we go.
Hello, I'm sorry I'm not available. Please leave your name, your phone number, or your message, and I'll try to call you back later. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. No voicemails today. We're just going to try to rip through some more leads. We're at a slow pace here based off what I'm going through each of these, but in theory, these should be more motivated sellers or, you know, again, they raised their hand at some point and showed interest in selling. So we're just doing a follow-up. Again, these are considered, you know, just a couple steps above cold leads, just because it could be 5, 6, 7+ years on some of them. But, you know, having this previous correspondence with all these notes here, you know, that could quickly build a rapport a lot better than somebody just doing, you know, cold call for the first time. All right. Lots of closed properties, which is good, but they should be filtered out. All right, we're going to exit out of there.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
Okay. So again, what I would probably be doing is I would leave a voicemail, then I would follow up with a text message. Hey, John, just left you a message about your property. You know, drop me a line when you're interested, or if you're interested. It's a missing number. It's no good.
The number you dialed is not in service.
Okay, so again, these could be older numbers. And in that scenario, if it was a really hot property that I liked, I would check the database, see if there's any other phone numbers that we have. Also in our notes, what we'll do is sometimes we'll skip trace and we'll provide a bunch of those. So we would see if there's any backup numbers, or if it was a very desirable property and we didn't have updated information on it, we could just run an updated skip trace.
Hello, you have reached 609-5.
All right, so slightly different today. Trying to call our other system because we're unable to make calls or text messages from our REI reply system at the moment. So we're utilizing Skype and taking records from our CRM that have been in our queue for quite some time. So we're just following up, seeing if now is a good time to sell. Trying to make an outbound call from Skype here. More technical difficulties. This has been quite the trip. Let's see what happens here. It doesn't like that number. If need be, I'll just make calls from the desk phone. Go through all the dialers. All right, dialer it is. We're Magic Jack. Let's power that up. Nothing wants to make calls. This is insane. All right, so I'm trying to load this up. Apparently my desk phone is, I think I'm getting hacked here. This is something I've never seen before. So let's let this power up. Let me see if Skype will work. Maybe it's a global scenario. If you guys are just checking in, we're doing 30 days of cold calling, an hour a day. Today seems to be a little bit rough. I can't seem to make calls, but we're continuing forward. We were actually starting on different lists. We were calling old prospects that we spoke to at some point, and trying to do the best we can, trying to bob and weave here given the situation. So right now, a little dead in the water, waiting for the landline to pop up. Skype doesn't want to work, and our regular system hasn't been working since this morning. All right. Let's try something else. All righty. We are officially dead in the water here. I'm gonna regene, guys, and then see if we can get this thing back in order. Let's see, 20 minutes in.